March 30th, 2023. How's it going, guys? Got another video for you. And what we're going to talk about today is these train derailments. And, everybody's having a fit about all this stuff and getting everything ramped up. So, first thing comes to mind, I thought, well, how many in 2022 did we have? How many train derailments do we have? So I went and looked it up. Okay, guys? It says in 2022, there were over more than 1,000 train derailments in the U.S. There were at least 1,164 train derailments across the country last year, it says, according to the data from the Federal Railroad Administration. That means the country is averaging roughly 3 derailments per day. Now it says then it goes on down the line, down below, and it said they usually aren't disasters. Well, what's a disaster? You don't think that all these railroad cars aren't carrying chemicals? Now, if somebody says something about the chemicals, yes. If somebody doesn't, no. Now, like what happened up there in that one town, that's a little bit different. But you got to put some of this in perspective, too. If we have 3 per day, I don't know, guys. I mean, that sounds like they're trying to get everybody upset about some of this stuff way more than need be. But I was watching something else, and I'm going to make another couple of statements here. I was thinking, they were saying, well, what could be done about this? Well, there's several things that could be done. One thing, maintenance. Maintenance is the most important thing, because some of this maintenance, I think last time, a while back, I think on Paul Bigley's, I'm not affiliated with any of the YouTube channel, but Mike was saying that it had to do with some of the maintenance. And usually, accidents usually do. I mean, a lot of times it's either human error or it's mechanical failure. Maintenance hasn't been done correctly. Now, sometimes people do bad things to the tracks and stuff. It can happen. So when somebody was saying, well, what could be done? Well, I thought of several things here if it was really, really crucial. Now, okay, they got high rail trucks. Now, what's a high rail truck? Have you guys ever been going by a railroad track and seen a regular pickup truck? It's got these other little wheels out it look like a train, and they can drive those on the track. Well, they can actually go full speed just like they're up on the highway. Now, the regulations state that they can't go more than 35 miles an hour on these vehicles. But if it was something really pressing and we're in such a dangerous deal, we could get a whole bunch more of those out there and people in certain areas checking those tracks, if that's the deal. Now, if that's one of the deals. Another thing, too, is I actually seen a device, I think it was about 1.5 years ago, on a railroad track. It looked almost kind of like a drone. And, you remember back in the 1800s how they had those cars where people could actually move themselves, like they pumped it up and down? This thing actually had like an engine, like motor on it, kind of like just like a regular train would, but it was going by itself. Now, I don't know what that is. But if they're so concerned, they could actually take that device, and I'm sure they could send that out in front of the train and run the track also. Now, they have another thing, too. Now, like this is for repairs of the track. They call it a cat tamper, okay? And it checks all the different, what am I looking to say? The ties, okay, underneath. But it's the size of a full-size train. And I'm sure it might be a lot slower, but at least they could send something out ahead of it. So if there was, think of it this way. It'd be better to send, another moving older train out in front to see if there was any problem ahead of the other ones. I mean, if it's that big of a problem, guys. And also, with technology we've got today, we could use aerial drones too. But that's not the same thing as having something on that track. So that would be an easy fix. So think about it, guys. It wouldn't cost a lot of money, especially those high rail trucks too. Shoot, over here you got like Ford over here, they take their vans and they take their trucks and stuff, pile them over here at these caves here in Kansas City, and they hoard them up there at Worlds of Fun in the parking lot before Worlds of Fun opens. They park them up there. They park them at a Maristar Casino. There's a ton of brand new vans up on those. What am I looking to say? The garage up there and stuff. Brand new ones and stuff. So it makes me wonder about all this. But getting back to this on the railroad track deal and in these deals, like I say, I just wanted people to be aware that there are usually three per day. And one other note. Now, my dad, he was a supervisor over 11 convenience stores and filling stations. He worked for Hudson. He worked for Coke Marketing. He had for Hudson Oil Company, he built like anhydrous ammonia plants, okay? And why I'm talking about this a little bit is about methanol and ethanol, okay? In these convenience stores, filling stations, whatever you want to call them today, sometimes tanks draw moisture in. Now, there can be several reasons for this. There could be a crack in the tanks underground. That can cause it. Sometimes they just draw moisture and they get water down in there. It can be from the pipeline. So when they get the trucks to get the gasoline from the pipeline, sometimes there's so much water it's mixed in with that gasoline. People don't think about that, okay, until if they get a lot of water and the cars quit running. So what they would do at these convenience stores is they would take like 3 containers of 5-gallon, about 15, 20 gallons of methanol, pour it down into the gasoline, big tanks, okay? That would absorb the water up. Now, down the line, if you didn't cure it, then 9 times out of 10, they'd have to pressurize those tanks and see if they had a leak. Because sometimes tanks wear out, tanks get cracks, it happens. But when I got thinking about this, they said, I don't know, I haven't been following all these derailments, supposedly, but when they were talking about either the ethanol or the methanol in the water, it usually, I'm no chemist, but it usually dilutes it with water. It'll kind of just, dilute with the water. Now, I'm sure that there's other things that down the line could be more toxic, and everything gives you cancer, so it doesn't really matter, right, guys? But I was thinking about this, and I'm just thinking, okay. But especially if it was methanol or even ethanol, which is kind of like alcohol, it was with water, and if it was in the river streams, the massive amount of water should dilute it. I don't know. Like gasoline, they added additives to that. They add poison to that so people, won't try to drink it or sniff it, in a way so they get high and stuff off the gasoline. Oh, yeah, there's people out there do that stuff too. But, I don't know. I just thought about that, and I just thought, I don't know. But anyway, I just want to talk about that and, maybe calm down some people's nerves out there a little bit. Because, like I say, 3 per day, guys? I don't know. Anyway, keep your eyes open and have a good one out there.